Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today I would like to share the knowledge about z-test with the two groups. Previously I described the z-test with one group. So this is the statistical tutorial lecture number 4. My name is Sarfraz Rahman. I did PhD in parasitology, and I would like to share this test with the references and website design and analysis of experiments 8th edition by Douglas S. Montgomery, and other one is the website link, and third one is the internet sources. Please subscribe my channel and also push the button of bell icon. So this z-test with the two groups, it means that this z-test, what is the z-test? It is the statistical test to determine whether two population means are different when the variances are known and the sample size is large. At what conditions the researcher can apply this z-test? And number one is that the number of samples should be larger than 30, and the standard deviation should be known, and the groups should be single or two. It is very important that if the groups are more than two, then you cannot apply the z-test. So keep in mind that z-test you can apply on these three conditions. So I would like to z-test with the example. The researcher that at one cattle farm, the researcher makes a hypothesis. He provides two types of ration, A and ration B. The cows that is more than 40 are at farm. Now he would like to see the outcomes in the form of milk production. So this is the table. You can see in this table that this is the sample mean 5.20 and group B and the 6.50, and this is the variance, and that's the sigma square mean, that variance 0.25 and 0.36, and the sample that because the form is cattle form is same, and the 40 cattle at the both forms. So the population size, it is denoted by n, sample mean denoted by y bar, and population mean denoted by mu, standard deviation, this sigma, variance, sigma square, groups 2, hypothesis. It is important that the one researcher makes a hypothesis that the mu naught mean that the null hypothesis. It means that the mean of 1 is equal to mean of 2. Mean the researcher cannot differentiate the production of the milk when he provides the ration A and B. Another is that the alternative hypothesis or the research hypothesis, and the researcher makes a hypothesis that the mu A is equal to mu 1 is not equal to mu 2, and it is mean that the milk production of the ration A is not equal to the ration B. So the ration 2 output is greater than ration A. So ration 2 mean the ration B, and ration A 1 mean the ration A. So it means that this is the hypothesis. So next is this is the example and test static, and you can apply this formula, and you put these values, and after that this z value minus 10.527, or that the calculated value that minus 10.527. The table, how can you calculate the table value? It is important that this is the conditions on which you can reject the H naught if modulus z is greater than the z sigma, mean one-sided value. It means one-sided mean this is the normality curve, and you can see that if the two-sided value, then the alpha by 2, this will be the 2.5, 0.025, and if the one-sided, then the alpha value is 0.05. So the decision rule reject H naught if minus z modulus is less than minus z sigma. This is the one-sided value, and you can calculate from the table. So this value is 1.645. So it is important that I have already described that the table value is less than the calculated value, then it is important that the null hypothesis will be rejected. So in this condition, the null hypothesis is also rejected. So you can get the conclusion from this value that the both Russians are effective for enhancing milk production. So the next step is that how can you differentiate the which Russian is more important or producing more milk production at the cattle farm. So for this you can find out the value 95% confidence interval for difference between two milk production of the Russians, and this is the formula. You can put the values and you find out that, and from this value, that this is the difference of that mu1 minus mu2. So it indicated that the Russian B is better than the Russian A for milk production. So it is the final conclusion. So if you have confusion or any query or any question, you can put the question at my channel or website, or I will put a response. Okay, thank you so much for your patience.